In this video, I'm going to talk through the answers to this worksheet. So first of all, I'm going to demonstrate finding one corner, one vertex for each one using the vectors, and then I'm going to just draw the rest on by thinking about lengths. So for the first question, I'm going to find where this corner here has to be from my centre of enlargement, which is marked on here. So to get from O to A, the vector I'm going to have to travel along, well, it's 4 across, 4 down, so it's 4 minus 4. Because my scale factor is 1/2, I need to half that vector, so it becomes 2 minus 2. So to go from O to A dash, I need to go 2 across and 2 down, and that point there should be halfway along this straight line from O to A. The base of my triangle was 4, so the base of my new image will have to be 2 because the scale factor is 1/2, so I half that length. The height was 4, so the height of the new one needs to be 2. And if you want to check, you should find that that point there is halfway along this line, and this point here is halfway along this line. So you can make sure that it's halfway from the centre of enlargement to the original vertex. For the next question, I'm going to think about this corner here to begin with. So this corner here, it's 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So 3, negative 6. I need to times that by a third because my scale factor for this question is 1/3. So 1/3 of 3 minus 6 is 1 minus 2. So I need to go 1 across, 2 down from my centre of enlargement, 2 across, 1 down, and that's, 1 across, 2 down, apologies. Okay, that's where my bottom corner is going to be. For my next corner, that's going to be this one here. It started off 3 upwards from my point, but because it's a scale factor of 1/3, I need to go 1/3 of that distance. So 1/3 of 3 is 1, so it's there. So that's where that's going to end up. And this was 3 across, but it's going to get divided by 3, so it becomes 1 across. This one here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. That's going to become 2 across. And then once you've done that, you can join up the ones that you're missing. And to check the answer, you can make sure that each corner lines up with the centre of enlargement and the one that you were going for, and they do. So that means you can be sure of your answer. Make sure you do this with a ruler as you go through. Right, next one, I'm going to find out where this point needs to go. So this point is 1, 2, 3, 4 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 and then 10. I need to divide that by 4 or find 1/4 of it because my scale factor is 1/4. So I'm going to need to go 1 across, and then I need to do 1/4 of 10, or half it and half it again. That's 2.5. So I'm going to now have to start thinking about half squares, which is going to get a little bit more complicated. So 1 across and then 2.5 squares up. That's where I'm expecting that point to end up. Because this one is a little bit more complicated, I'm going to take this slow as I go through the rest of it. So this length here used to be a length of 4. 1/4 of 4 is 1, so I need to go 1 across. Okay, this length here is a length of 2. 1/4 of 2 is a half, so I need to go a half down. Okay, this length here is 4. 1/4 of 4 is 1, so I need to go 1 across. Okay, this is a length of 4. I need to do 1/4 of 4, which is 1, so I need to go 1 down. 4 across, 1/4 of 4 is 1, so I go 1 across. 4 up, 1/4 of 4 is 1, so I go 1 up. And I then need to join up those 2 points again. You would do this with a ruler, okay, and connect it like that. And again, before you finish, you can draw the ray lines on from your picture to the corner on the actual shape and make sure that they lie on that line, okay, which they do, so you can be confident that you're on the right track. Okay. Right, next one, we've got a scale factor of 3/4. So it's going to be a little bit more complicated doing the vector method for this because I'm going to have to times it by 3/4. And if you want to find 3/4 of something, a good way to do it is divide by 4 and then times by 3 to find 3/4. So let's look at a point. Let's go for this point here. Okay, I'll call that one A. Okay, so to go from O to A, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down. and it's 8 that way, and then 8 down. So it's -8, -8. I've got to do 3/4 of that vector. So I'm going to divide by 4 and then times by 3, or find the 3/4 of 8 for each of them. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So it's going to be -6, -6 as my vector for that bottom corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where my new point has to go. Okay, and I can now think about the other lengths rather than doing vectors, but you can keep with vectors if you want to. This was a length of 4. 3/4 of 4, divide by 4 to 1, times by 3 to 3 is 3. So I need to go 3 across. This length here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3/4 of 8 is 6. So I need to go up 6 to there. Okay, and going from 8 upwards, it's 4. So that's 3/4 of 4 is 3. 4 across, 3/4 of 4 is 3, and then join them up at the end. Okay, but for more complicated questions like that, you might find that you want to do more than one vector to make sure that you're on the right track. Okay, next one, a scale factor of 2.5. So this again, it's a little bit more complicated. You might want to convert it to an improper fraction, but you don't have to. So 2.5 is 5 halves. So you can think of that as dividing by 2 and timesing by 5, but it's really whatever's going to be easiest for you to do. If you've got a calculator, you can always times by 2.5. So I'm going to do this corner here, this vertex here. So the vector to get from the centre to that is 2 across, 2 down. So I need to times those by 2.5 or 5 over 2. So I'm going to divide by 2 and then times by 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. And then from -2 it becomes -5. So I need to go 5 across and then 5 down. That's where my new A point is going to be. Okay, and I'm then going to work out these lengths. So 2/5 of 2, sorry, 5 halves of 2 is 5, so I need to go 5 along the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need to go 5 down here. And then I join them up. Again, apologies that I've not got a ruler to do this with. Okay, and then for the next one, scale factor of 2/3. So for 2/3, we can divide by 3 and times by 2. I'm going to work out where this corner has to go. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back, and then 3 down. So I need to do 2/3 of that, divide by 3 and then times by 2. So that's going to be -4, -2. So 4 back and 2 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that's that corner there. Now this base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2/3 of 9 would be divide by 3 times by 2 is going to be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That goes to there. Going up this side, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2/3 of 6 is 4. So I'm going 4 up. Again, apologies about the poor drawing. And then along the top, it's 3. 2/3 of 3 is 2. And then I can join my corners that I've ended up with going back to the centre. And again, you can draw ray lines and do measuring as well if you want to check. Okay, I'm just going to hold that a bit closer in case there's any more that you want to check and see a bit more closely. There we go.